Welcome to another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. What we've got this time is the Yusaku blue or Algami number 2 Nashiji Nakiri 180mm knife from Chef Knives to Go. This knife is nicely crafted. It is composed of a 3-layer construction, so you can see some cladding here along with a darker finish called the Nashiji with a Kudauchi or kind of a blacksmith protective finish on it. Then you've got a blade, kind of a sandblasted blade grind here, and then the core steel peeking out right there. So this is Algami or blue paper number 2 reactive high carbon steel. It's a very good steel for kitchen knives. It'll hold a nice edge and be really easy to sharpen. The cladding on it is for lower maintenance, is a soft stainless cladding, and you'll see what that looks like right there. The cladding, I'm just looking here. Cladding actually does not cover, I might need to clean this up a little bit. Cladding does not cover the top of the spine, so you can actually see the 3 layers right there. So you've got stainless cladding, core steel. You do have some core steel peeking out from the spine, so you want to make sure you use these, then wash them, dry them, and put them away. Don't let them sit wet, and you'll be fine. The weight on these, they've got a fairly decent amount of weight to them, and it's a kind of a blade forward balance on it, which is really good for a Nakiri. You want that kind of chopping power. So weight on this one's 196 grams or 6.9 ounces. These can vary a little bit from knife to knife. Heat treat, typically, it's not specified, but typically for an Algami number 2 is typically around 62, maybe 63 Rockwell C. The handle is octagonal. It is an oak handle, kind of a standard handle you'll see in a lot of knives right now, with a burnt, or what's known as an urushi burnt finish to it. Nice looking handle. Good fit and finish on it. Nothing really out of the ordinary, just pretty easy to use. Looks like we've got a pretty good glue up job where the tang goes into the handle there, so it's sealed up. If you ever get a knife where that's not sealed up well, you'll want to go ahead and seal that so you don't get any moisture in there. You can use a lot of different things. Some people use beeswax, some people use silicone, epoxy. There's all kinds of things you can use as long as you get a good seal there. The edge on this is about 182 usable from the back part of the called the chin of the blade back here, and just to the curve, start kind of useful part of the blade. That's about a little over 7 inches. And then the overall length's about 13.2 or 336 millimeters with this handle. Again, that can vary a little bit from knife to knife. Spine thickness also can vary. This one has a fair amount of thickness coming out of the handle. Right above the chin or the back of the blade, I got about 3.3 millimeters, and then about halfway down, I got about 2.2. Or 2.4, and then it thins down just a little bit to get to the end here. It's a fairly stiff blade, which is nice. The height, I got 48.4 millimeters at the back, and then about 48.6 in the middle, so it's a fairly straight height all the way across. It doesn't really vary too much. Let's get our blade road, or our beauty shot here. So what we have is a pretty uniform kind of Nashiji. It's very finely textured Nashiji, which means pear skin finish to it. This darker color is what's known as a Kudauchi or KU, or kind of a blacksmith protective finish. There's some, looks to me like kind of embossed kanji on there. I don't think it's hand engraved. Here's a kind of an artificial blade road here with probably sandblasting type finish, bead blasting finish. Here's your core steel. And then here's the left side of the blade. You've got some embossed kanji on that side up near the top and the back, and then you can see again a pretty smooth finish to it. It's a nice looking blade. The food release will be a little bit nicer with that texture on there. It won't stick quite as much, but performance is going to be quite good. You'll see it is pretty thin at the edge, but again, you've got some increase in thickness to help separate the food as well, and it's thin at the tip down here as well. So nice performance on this. Balance point's going to be a bit forward, which is usually good for this style blade. Gives you a little feel of like cutting power. So the balance point on this one's right about there, which for me be just a little in front of my pinch grip, so slightly blade heavy on the balance, which is good, as I said, for this style of blade. Nakiri knives can be all over the place on edge profile as far as being flat or a little curvy. So let's take a look at this one. And what we're going to see is it's pretty flat in the back half, so it rolls into a pretty good stop right back there. This particular one has a slight fulcrum point on it right about there. It's a rounded tip, so that means you can pretty much rock this as just as high as you want to go, because you can just go anywhere you want. So this will rock nicely as well. You can do tip draws with it if you like, not a problem. Definitely a lot of chopping towards the back. So pretty versatile profile on this one. I found the grinds to be really clean on this one. Nice fit and finish on it. They've relieved the spine a bit. Definitely around here in the choil they put some relief in there. So it's just a well-crafted knife. It's nicely executed. Great steel, stainless cladding to make it a little bit easier to take care of. And it's a little bit longer if you're processing some larger product. That extra length will help you out. So this is the Yusaku Awagami R Blue number 2 Nashiji Nakiri 180mm knife from Chef Knives to Go.